Okay, based on our experience from last year, if any of you have watched last year's video, we didn't have enough wind blockage on the sides of the rotisserie here so that the lamb could get an adequate amount of heat. So this year, as you can see, we've got some bricks piled up on each side of the rotisserie, and then we also have a table here blocking the wind. So the heat will radiate off the sides of the blocks and back onto the lamb so that it cooks a little faster and a little more thorough. Okay, again, Cousin Gary, just like last year, is using the oregano stalks. Say hi, Gary.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Yasu.
Yasu.
Opa.
Opa.
He's using the oregano stalks to baste the lamb. We've got a mixture there of olive oil, lemon juice, and other spices. It's our secret formula. It'll cost you $100 if you want to know what that secret formula is. And he's going to keep basting this the entire time until the lamb is done, of course. Okay, something a little bit different that we did this year than last year. The head was not cooked enough last year. The eyeballs weren't quite cooked enough. So this year we had the butcher split the head. And you really can't see it too well here, but by splitting it, that means the heat will get into the interior of the brains and everything, and then it should cook a little better. If it doesn't, we could always take the head and put it in the oven and cook it a little longer. Okay, so we are in our first hour of cooking here, and we'll be back next hour to show you our progress. So here we are in the second hour of cooking the lamb, and as you can see, because of the new setup this year, the fire is more contained, the heat's more contained, and the lamb is cooking at a little quicker rate than it was last year, which is what we want. And you can see that the flames are a little more intense this year. You can see the fire under the coals. And again, Cousin Gary is basting the lamb. And actually, Cousin Gary, his real name in Greek is Demosthenes, but you could call him either Gary, Demosthenes, or Hey You.
All right, hey you. That's good. That's good. Opa.
Opa, Yasu.
Yeah.
And things are moving right along here. We've got the table blocking the wind. It's a beautiful day, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2013. And I think we're going to actually see this lamb being done a couple hours quicker than last year. So we'll come back in another hour or so to see how we're doing. This year we've got something new. We've got music, Greek music in the background, and Bal and Gary are doing a little bit of a Greek dance here to celebrate the occasion of Easter and the joyous cooking of the lamb. We already had dinner last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, and here we are again, up early. Got up about 6 o'clock and came over here to my mother's house, and we are dancing and cooking the lamb. Yasu. Okay. Now my mother's in the picture. She's basting the lamb while it's turning there on the spit, and it's looking very good. It's only been an hour and a half or so, and we've got the right amount of heat, and the skin is starting to peel away from the bone already. Oh wait. Okay, Cousin Gary is basting the lamb again. We are going into our third hour, and as you can see, because of our new setup this year, and also you can hear the music in the background, which is something we've added since last year, the lamb is progressing very well. We've got a good amount of heat contained within the pit here. Got the bricks on the sides, and the meat is starting to pull away from the bone, which I think is about an hour or two ahead of where we were at this point last year. So because we've learned from our mistakes from last year, we've got a better setup. It's improved, and we've got the lamb cooking here, and will be done hopefully an hour or two sooner than last year. So we're basting the lamb. It's starting to turn a nice golden brown, and I don't know, Gary, what do you think? Another 3 hours or so, it'll be done? Another 3 hours, it'll be done. And we will keep you updated. We'll take another video the next hour, see where we're at. And again, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Easter. And Yasu.
Yasu.
And Opa.
Opa.
Opa. Okay. Okay, we're progressing pretty well with the lamb. We had to make an adjustment here. The cavity opened up a little bit. So, as you can see, we had to wrap a little bit of extra string around the lamb here toward the back. And because one of the lemons actually fell out, you can see it in the coals there. So we had to close that cavity back up again with a little extra string, because we don't want to lose any more of those lemons that are already inside there. So we're only into our, are we in the third hour right now? Or?
We're in the third hour. And
Yeah.
20 more minutes, we'll be in the fourth hour.
All right. We're into the third hour because of our modified setup here. It's coming along real well. We've already taken one piece of meat off, and it's pretty much cooked. But we probably got a couple more hours here, and as you can see, also the meat is starting to separate from the backbone, and which is a good sign. We may have to slow down the cooking a little bit, but we'll determine that in a little while. Okay, so that's it for this hour, and we'll be back soon. Okay, it's time to do a little more basting. The original oregano stalks that we had pulled out of this bag have kind of worn out, so now we are getting some new ones. We've added a little more olive oil and lemon juice into the basting sauce, so to speak. Now cousin Gary is putting those new oregano stalks in the basting, and gently spreading the seasoning over the lamb. That's coming along pretty well. Actually, this video is only a few minutes after the last one, because we're really pleased with the progress that it's making. In fact, because of the method we're using with the bricks here on the sides, it's cooking a lot faster than it was last year. So we may have to take down one side of the bricks to slow the cooking down a little bit. We don't want to burn the meat on the outside.
I was telling Matt, next year we should put a little bit more lemon in the cavity.
Put a few more lemons in the cavity?
Where
Sure.
did you want to stick the lemons? In the butthole.
Yasu!
How do you say that in Greek?
Oh, I don't know.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay.
Whoops.
As you can see, the lamb is progressing really well. We've had to take down a layer of bricks because the heat was a little bit too intense. The meat is really starting to fall away from the bone right now, and it really hasn't been cooking that long, but we're satisfied with the progress. We took down this layer of bricks. We still have the double layer on the other side, but the single layer on this side to dissipate some of the heat. And because our goal here is to obviously make sure the meat is cooked on the inside as well as the outside, and we don't want to burn the outside before the meat is cooked on the inside. Okay, so Cousin Gary is giving it doing a little more basting here. Every time he does that, the fire flames up a little bit, but that's okay.
That's the oil.
So, yeah, that's the oil in the mixture there, and we're moving right along here. I'm guessing maybe. What do you think, Cousin Gary? Another hour and a half?
I think
It's going to be done.
2 hours at the most.
2 hours at the most. We're fortunately ahead of schedule for this year. Doesn't matter if if it's done before we're ready to eat, because we could always warm it later. But because of all these improvements we made, we are making much better progress than we did last year. Okay, over and out until the next hour. I just pulled a piece of skin off the lamb, and boy, does it taste great. One of the products that we are using here is the Filippo Berio olive oil, and it is really doing a good job on
See
this
how nice
lamb.
and brown it is.
Yeah,
Giving
see how
that
nice
golden.
It's giving
color.
it that golden color. Yes, it is. Wow, is this terrific? So this is one of the products that I would highly recommend that you use, the Filippo Berio olive oil. Currently we are using the, as you can see in the video here, the Filippo Berio olive oil. If Filippo Berio would like to sponsor my video, please give me a call. I'll look up your website and leave my phone number. Okay, we are now in our 4th hour of cooking the lamb, and as you can see, Matt is doing the basting now. Again, the same mixture of olive oil, lemon juice, and other herbs and spices. The meat is really starting to separate from the bone at this point, and it looks like we've only got another maybe hour and a half left of cooking time here. Again, we've taken one side of the bricks off to try to cool the process down so that the outside of the meat doesn't burn or overcook before the inside does. It is really, as you can see, the juices are really circulating now as the lamb turns. It's really nice and moist. It's looking very good, and like I say, maybe another hour and a half. I think we'll be done with this. So we will check back in another few minutes. Okay, we've got Cousin Gary here basting the lamb. He's using his favorite combination of juices, herbs, and spices. You can see he's using the oregano stalks to baste the lamb. He's using the in the basting sauce actually is lemon juice, olive oil, some other seasonings, and especially
Cavender's Greek seasoning.
Cavender's Greek seasoning.
My mother used it. My sisters used it. I've used it.
Right.
I think it's the best.
The best.
What everybody should do is if they're going to do something like this, they should use Cavender's Greek seasoning.
And I swear by it. And we all swear by it. Yes, we do. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, we're in our 7th hour. I know my cousin John has been talking, but 7 hours here, I mean, we've had our ouzo and
Beer.
Messina, but I wanted to tell you, everything is good. A couple hours ago, we actually brought down our wind border. The lamb is still cooking, but it's not roasting anymore, so we're keeping it warm. But I wanted to tell you about Kingsford charcoal. My father's used it, my family's used it, my sisters used it, I've used it. I think it is the best. And I want to pass it on. I hope my children, my nieces and nephews use it, because I think it is the best.
And
And you know,
In a
you can't do this on propane, you can't do it with gas, you gotta use charcoal. You can do
That's
your
right.
mounds, cook the meat where you want it.
Right.
And actually, I've used a lot of charcoals, but Kingsford is the best. And it's been a family tradition.
Okay, it's just going to be a few more minutes now. The lamb is almost done. As you can see, the meat is pulling away from the bones. Some of the skin is starting to show signs of pulling away from the ribs in the rib area. And in about 5 to 10 minutes here, we're going to take this lamb off the rotisserie, and we are going to put it up on the table over here and start cutting it up. So we will be back in a few minutes, and we'll show you that part. Okay, at this point, we've got a couple of the cousins cutting some of the meat off of the lamb. Some of the meat on the inside may not be done, so what they're doing is they're cutting the meat off of the outside. We're gonna leave the lamb on the rotisserie, and we're gonna let it turn a little more, and therefore it'll cook some of the meat that's on the inside. Otherwise, for the most part, it's done. We're just gonna cut off enough meat here right now so that we can start serving the lamb, the pastizo, the spanakopita, and spanakopita and the tiropitas. Okay, we'll be back in a little while. Okay, we've got the lamb almost done here. We've carved some of it off of the main part and got it on dishes, ready to serve with the pastizo, spanakopita, and tiropita. We'd also like to thank some of our potential sponsors, and we've mentioned them before, and that's going to be it for this year, for Greek Easter. Kalo Pascha, Yasu Opa, over and out.